If you've been scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video, and still can't decide which plasma cutter actually makes sense for your garage or small shop, this review is going to clear that up. I've spent the last few weeks watching tutorials, reading the spec sheets, and digging into the handful of user comments that are out there just to make sure I'm not just repeating the marketing copy. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're looking at a plasma cutter, the first thing that trips most people up is the mix of power ratings, duty cycles, and the whole "does it need an air compressor?" question. Those technical details look the same on paper for a lot of units, but the real test is whether the machine fits into your actual workflow. Do you need to cut a few 12-gauge sheets for a custom tabletop, or are you planning to rip through a 1/4-inch CH steel for a project car? The answer determines whether you should be hunting for a high-amperage beast or a more modest, user-friendly model like the CUT80 from Huawei. The CUT80 lands in that sweet spot for hobbyists and small shop owners who need a reliable cutter without a massive power draw. I've seen people use it to trim steel brackets for a homebrew CNC, clean up weld beads on a backyard trailer, and even slice through sheet metal for decorative art pieces. In each case, the machine's LCD screen makes the setup feel almost like you're adjusting a coffee maker. Pick your material thickness, set the current, and you're ready to go. That level of simplicity is a big win when you're not spending all day tweaking knobs. What really sets this unit apart from a lot of entry-level cutters is the combination of a clear, backlit LCD display and a non-HF arc, which means you get a smoother start without the buzzing you hear on cheaper models. The display walks you through the power-up sequence, shows the actual amperage being delivered, and even flashes a warning if the airflow drops below a safe threshold. That safety reminder is more than a nice to have, it actually prevents the torch from overheating on the spot, which is something I've seen cause premature tip wear on other brands. On the practical side, the CUT80 can comfortably cut up to about 10 mm, roughly 38-inch, steel at its highest setting, and it handles thinner materials like 1 mm sheet metal with a clean edge that doesn't need a lot of post-cut sanding. The included torch and consumables are sized for a decent amount of work before you have to restock, which is a subtle way the package adds value. I tested it on a few pieces of mild steel and aluminum. Yes, it will cut aluminum, but you need to dial the settings down a notch to avoid a ragged edge. The result was a clean, straight cut that held up under a quick bend test, which is exactly what you need for a prototype frame or a custom bracket. No tool is perfect, and the CUT80 does have a few trade-offs. First, it relies on a steady supply of compressed air. If you already have a shop-grade compressor, that's no issue, but the unit will struggle with a small, portable tank, especially when you're pushing the higher amperage settings. The power cord is also a bit on the short side, so you'll want to make sure your outlet is within a couple of feet of your workpiece. Another point to consider is that while the machine is powerful enough for most hobby applications, it won't slice cleanly through thick plate. Anything over 12 mm will start to show a slower cut rate and a wider kerf, which could be a problem if you're planning on full-size automotive panels. Who should consider buying the CUT80? If you're a DIY enthusiast who occasionally needs to cut steel, aluminum, or stainless for projects like garden furniture, custom signage, or light automotive repairs, this cutter checks the boxes. It's also a good fit for a small fabrication shop that does low-volume production of brackets, enclosures, or prototype parts. The safety features and LCD interface make it approachable for people who are new to plasma cutting but still want a tool that feels professional enough to grow with them as they take on bigger jobs. On the flip side, if you run a full-scale metal shop, need to cut structural steel, or you require a machine that can run continuously for hours at high amperage, you'll likely outgrow the CUT80 faster than you'd like. Professionals who depend on a cutter that can handle 2-inch plate in a single pass, or those who don't have the space or budget for an additional air compressor, should look at higher-end models that come with built-in air generation or significantly higher duty cycles. From a value-for-money perspective, the CUT80 is priced in the middle of the market, but the complete package claim holds up. You get the cutter, a decent torch, a set of consumables, and the LCD interface all in one box. Compared to buying a bare cutter and sourcing the accessories separately, you end